Insurance, a legacy of trust, serving Micronesia since 1938. Matson, celebrating 25 years of commitment to Guam, Micronesia, and the CNMI. Cars Plus Hyundai, home of the Kona electric vehicle, an electric heart with an SUV soul. Test drive yours today at Cars Plus. McDonald's of Guam, I'm Loving It, and King's Restaurant, serving your local breakfast, lunch, and dinner favorites for over 45 years.
Ahead on Primetime, the governor plans to announce additional health restrictions. Plus, the former chairperson of the governor's physician advisory group says he's still very much part of the fight against COVID. And with the surge in COVID-19 cases, the Guam Behavioral Health and Wellness Center's crisis hotline sees a rise in calls.
Hafide and good evening, everyone. There will be additional health restrictions, but Adelup is still refining the details. Governor's Communications Director Crystal Paco San Augustine says they hope to announce the changes later today or tomorrow. In a news conference Friday, the governor announced vaccinations would be mandatory to enter certain covered businesses and events, including bars and restaurants. Following strong pushback from her Physicians Advisory Group and the Hotel and Restaurant Association, the governor on Tuesday night released several modifications. Unvaccinated employees of covered businesses can continue to work but must pass a weekly COVID test, and customers only have to self-attest that they are vaccinated in order to enter. There have been no indications about what the new changes will be, but the PAG and GHRA have both advocated cutting back on social gatherings and operational capacity. Local restaurants have been on the receiving end of criticism for simply complying with the governor's proof of vaccination executive order. In an interview on The Link, Apple Pacific Group head Richard Hart says restaurants need the community's support in the face of ever-changing pandemic protocols. Hart heads Applebee's, Pyology, and Longhorn Steakhouse and says restaurants have had to pivot quickly just to survive during the pandemic. He adds that with this latest EO, which requires proof of vaccination or self-attestation of at least one COVID vaccine shot, it has put restaurant workers in an uncomfortable position.
We're just doing what's instructed to us by the government. And I think it's simple. You know, if anybody just like there, screensaver on my phone, you know, you just put it on the screensaver on your phone. And now if you don't want to do that, just sign the attestation that you're vaccinated. We certainly have had people who've made comments as they've come in, you know, we're violating their liberties and things, but what are we supposed to do?
Hart is appealing to the community to support local restaurants, big and small, by continuing to dine in or by taking out. And we're hearing more now from Dr. Hoa Nguyen, the former chairperson of the governor's Physicians Advisory Group. He may not be with the PAG anymore, but he's still in the fight against COVID-19 on Guam.
For over 18 months, Dr. Hoa Nguyen has been serving as the head of the governor's team of medical advisors. But after the MAGA Haga's latest executive order, he decided it was time to take a stand.
Freedom is what people die for, and my family is a refugee. I served 24 years in the Air Force, and I firmly believe that everyone have to have the freedom of choice.
The governor's executive order mandating a restriction of movement for the unvaccinated wasn't something the PAG advised and something he will not support.
Doesn't matter what restrictions out there that the governor decide to do, but I think that to mandate private company and restrict the unvaccinated people from their activity, their normal daily life, to me, you really violate the right of the people. It doesn't mean that the fully vaccinated won't transmit. From what we see in our clinic, is about 20-25% of the fully vaccinated that come in with mild symptoms and they test positive.
Dr. Nguyen says the end result has been creating division between the vaccinated and unvaccinated. He believes we should focus on limiting social gatherings and implement rapid testing instead of the PCR tests that are currently being administered at the old Tidzin Carnival grounds. In doing these two things, it will help contain the spread. He also supports vaccination because it decreases hospitalizations. Ultimately, though, he believes the governor should listen to the PAG.
The governor have a lot of decision, she have a lot of input from other people and a lot of a lot of different, level to give input. But I think the challenge for her is she needs to pick the right group to listen to. And that's the thing, and that's the key. And again, I keep saying, this is a health emergency. And, you have a lot of physicians in this group, and they are the pulse of the community.
Although he may be done with the politics, the former head of the PAG says he will still be in the fight, helping with vaccination clinics, providing information to the community, and hopefully work with GDOE to come up with standardized COVID protocols.
I'm not going anywhere. This is my home, and everything we do is for this island.
As hospital beds at both Guam Memorial and the Guam Regional Medical City continue to fill up, GMH Administrator Lillian Posadas gave an update this morning about the skilled nursing facility in Barragata Heights and how many non-COVID patients are currently there.
What we normally was running at SNF 14 patients, we're now up to 24 as of this morning. Each wing, there are 3 wings, A, B, C wings, and each wing has a capacity of 20 beds. But some of those rooms are being utilized for other functions. And so the last count we can accommodate 54 patients into that facility.
However, Posada says as a result of staffing shortages, only 28 can be accommodated right now. She's hoping that FEMA funding will help with getting some traveling nurses assigned to the facility. And as the number of positive cases continue to surge, the Guam Behavioral Health and Wellness Center has seen an increase of calls to the crisis hotline. KUAM's Isaiah Uggan has this report.
COVID-19 cases on the island is not the only thing that has risen in the last month, but also the phone calls to the Guam Behavioral Health and Wellness Center 24/7 crisis hotline. That's according to GBHWC Director Teresa Ariola.
So people's anxiety level, depression is heightened. So we expect March numbers. I don't have the exact data, but I can tell you that I'm told that there's an uptake. But the average, the last data that we collected and analyzed was 729 calls in July.
Ariola stated that high volume of phone calls can be attributed to the recent surge of COVID cases on the island.
Well, the increase is attributed to the scare of COVID. That's what the increase, that's what our data shows us, is that people are calling in because they're anxious. They're anxious about the spread. They're anxious about COVID. They're anxious about getting sick themselves, their children getting sick, or their loved ones getting sick.
According to Ariola, they are receiving all types of calls.
But I can tell you that anxiety, depression, suicide ideation, all related, I shouldn't say all, because some people access, but it compounded by COVID and the scare of COVID and the scare of how this virus is not just a common cold, how it's taking, such a toll in the community. That's what the calls are coming in.
Behavioral Health reported that pre-COVID, they received an estimated 30 calls per month. Since the pandemic, they're averaging anywhere between 500 to 600 calls a month. Ariola explains some of the programs available.
I encourage
shares
people
this message to residents
to call the
who
crisis
need a listening
hotline
ear.
and let's help you there, and then safely get you referred to programs safely over the phone. And so that's really the services we provide. Counseling services, inpatient services. If you meet the criteria and our psychiatrist deems that you're in major crisis and needs to be stabilized, then they will admit you into our into one of our inpatient units, stabilization units.
Reported for Guam News Network, Wahusi Isaiah Uggan.
Meanwhile, our island's nurses are speaking out about containing COVID. They're working hard and continue to hold the line in the battle against the virus. Daniel Perez has more.
Nurses have been our main defense in the fight against COVID-19. Since the pandemic arrived in March of last year, they have been doing all they can to keep it at bay. The nurses at the Guam Memorial Hospital have been battling it since day one, and ICU nurse Olivia Elliott shared her experiences on how they have been fighting to contain it.
When COVID first came to Guam, we have never stopped. So, there were some relaxation in, regulations in the community and things like that. But GMH has always been the COVID hospital, so we've always remained vigilant and ready. We're working tirelessly and endlessly, and all the nurses here at GMH are exhausted. I mean, in terms of gowning up every day, masking up, staying vigilant about what they transmit home, protecting their own health, putting their own health on the line. And I think that a lot of people don't understand that we've been doing that for now over a year.
Since they are our primary defense against COVID, Elliot says that keeping their family and the residents safe are their number one priorities, and that means having to sacrifice spending quality time with their loved ones.
Sometimes, you have family events and family gatherings that you as an individual and as a frontliner have to determine, is it safe for me to go to this? Is it something that I'm willing to risk the chance of getting COVID and spreading it to my family, or being part of this spread? Is this something that I can forego or miss out on?
Progressive Care Unit nurse Brandon Savella said that with the cases climbing, taking care of the non-COVID patients is also starting to become a challenge.
Right now, with this wave of unvaccinated people, it's kind of frustrating, and it's saddening also, because we were armed with the tools to fight this, and some people are remaining ignorant, due to misinformation out there or conspiracies. We're all trying to fight the same war. We want COVID to end. We want the masks to be off. We want to be able to be in closer distance with our family and friends, and one of the best ways to do that is to get vaccinated.
Both Elliot and Savella are urging the public to keep practicing social distancing, staying at home to reduce the rise in COVID cases, and if unvaccinated, to take the shot. Reporting for Guam's News Network, I'm Daniel Perez.
We'll be back with more news right after this.
You can count on me. You can count on me for life. Cheers to a good life, creating those better days. Through each and every phase, keep your roots in the ground. Don't need a work break, keep the smile on your face. The moments you can't replace, and I'll be around.
Takes you, we're always here for you. Calvo's Insurance. Count on us for life.
Honey, do you want some milk?
Do you ever wonder how your favorite products make their way into your local stores? Most arrive on state-of-the-art Matson vessels that transport containers of food, household items, equipment, and supplies into the islands every week. Because we know that you depend on us, we work closely with our partners to ensure that our shipments arrive on time, all the time, so you can find your favorite products when you need them. We transport the region's most precious cargo that supports successful businesses and promotes a better quality of life for our families. Matson is proud to have been the hometown shipping carrier for Guam, the CNMI, and Micronesia for the past 25 years, and you can count on us to be here for generations to come.
When we face an uncertain path, when we struggle with life's challenges, when the unexpected happens,
it's a beautiful day.
We rely on the people we trust,
It's a beautiful,
who we can always count on,
beautiful day.
and the ones who give us the most care throughout the years. Rely on Calvo's Select Care. give you the comfort and security you need
It's a beautiful day.
wherever you are. Calvo's Select Care, healthcare that's always there for you.
It's a special delivery to your inbox every week with your KUAM News Roundup, program advisories, and promotions. Sign up for the weekly KUAM Digital Digest today on KUAM.com.
Welcome back. Senator Sabina Perez is raising concerns over the emergency procurement of golf carts, a purchase that's also under protest by a competing bidder. The carts are supposed to be used to transport the elderly at vaccination clinics, but Perez questions whether they're even needed at all. Here's more.
I don't think it's an emergency. I don't see how it's an emergency without seeing the justification for golf carts. You know, seriously, do we need golf carts at this point? I don't see that it's an emergency, or I don't have the evidence to know that it's an emergency without the justification. And mind you, that we did pass emergency procurement reform into law requiring this justification.
Strong words from Legislative Procurement Oversight Chair Senator Sabina Perez. She's talking about an emergency procurement of golf carts for the governor's office conducted by the General Services Agency in June. The procurement protested now by losing offerer Guahan Turf Co. The procurement record showing GSA changed procurement specs after working hours the day before submissions were due. GSA changing specs to require immediate delivery of golf carts, even though the original specs said carts could be delivered in 30 days.
The way it was changed last minute, the rules and regulations require that any amendments, that all bidders be given reasonable time to adjust to their bids. So really the proper way to have done this is to withdraw. If they had to make this last minute change, they should have withdrawn the bid, the solicitation, and resubmit it to allow for all bidders to have equal and fair competition.
Well, that's not what happened, though. Instead, the specs were changed to mirror AutoSpot's submitted quote, which said carts could be delivered immediately. According to GSA docs and invoices sent to the governor's office, 6 golf carts were purchased from AutoSpot for $80,000. Meanwhile, Adelup Chief of Staff John Jr. Calvo says even if the governor's office was written on invoices, the procurement was handled exclusively by GSA and Civil Defense.
Part of this is, again, under procurement protest, and so I'm not going to be able to comment on all the details. I leave that to the General Services Agency and, of course, the agency that procured it. But I do know that at the beginning and even in the middle of both the testing and the vaccination, there was a need for those resources.
Lieutenant Governor Josh Tenorio is a former vice president of AutoSpot. And AutoSpot president Derek Kanata is the son of airport manager John Kanata. Meanwhile, GSA docs show the agency purchased some $330,000 in ATVs and SUVs in June and August of 2020 using emergency procurement and sole source purchasing. The next hearing for the golf cart protest with the public auditor is set for September 16th. For Guam's News Network, Chris Barnett reports.
There's a possible Airbnb opportunity from a new source market, Indonesia. Guam Visitors Bureau Vice President Jerry Perez reported during a board meeting today that a multinational Indonesian corporation has reached out to them. The company, called Bosawa, says there's been a slow vaccination uptake in their country, and they're interested in Guam because of the closer proximity that will save time and money.
It's a privately held conglomerate based in the eastern island of Sulawesi. Their diversified business interests are in cement, automotive, power plant, property, financial services, a whole variety of industries, including natural resources, infrastructure. And so we looked this company up and corroborated much of this in a Bloomberg report. So it's a privately held company, but they seem to be for real.
Perez says the company has discussed flying daily Boeing B737 service from 3 hubs, Jakarta, Surabaya, and Makassar. GBB says if it can attract even just 1% of Indonesia's 270 million population, it would translate into 270,000 visitors to Guam. Student athletes participating in public school sports are not required to be vaccinated. Governor Leon Guerrero's most recent executive order states that all organized contact sports and competitions must require participants and coaches to show proof of vaccination prior to every event. But Guam Department of Education Superintendent John Fernandez clarified in an interview on The Link that the governor's latest executive order does not apply to them.
And I've received clarification that the organized sports are not intended to cover interscholastic sports. So interscholastic sports are going to be covered within our K-12, guidelines. For any of you, anybody out there whose child is maybe a participant in sports, and if you've been told, because I heard some of this, that some of our coaches or athletic directors may have jumped the gun and say, hey guys, you might need to be vaccinated. Yeah. That is not the case. So for parents out there, if your child's been told they need to be vaccinated, that's not the requirement at this point in time.
Fernandez says discussions are ongoing about possible further requirements for interscholastic sports, which include how they choose to operationalize it. Only one person has applied to fill the vacancy left by Dr. Juan Flores, who resigned as the superintendent of Catholic education almost a month ago. The original deadline was set for tomorrow, but Archdiocese of Agana spokesperson Tony Diaz said it has been extended to September 10. Interested applicants can find out more information about the position at archagana.org/jobs. 84% or 293 of 350 Port Authority employees are fully vaccinated against the COVID-19 virus. Port General Manager Rory Respicio gave an update on their COVID-19 vaccination census during a board meeting Thursday. At least 15 employees have received their first dose of the vaccine, which will bring the percentage up to 88%. Respicio said that all employees are compliant with the executive order, which mandates all executive branch employees to be vaccinated no later than September 27th.
I'm happy to report that the Port Authority is fully compliant with this executive order. And on August 9th, we issued a memo to every single employee and they signed it, acknowledged receiving it.
Respicio says all employees were strongly advised to comply, not only to protect themselves, but their family, co-workers, and the community as well. In court news, Matthew Manabusan was released on bail following a hearing in the Superior Court. He has been charged with manslaughter and aggravated assault for the death of Joshua Meno. Meno's body was found along Swamp Road in Dededo back in April. Manabusan is being monitored at home electronically. The court is looking to set his trial in either late January or early February of 2022. Another motion hearing is scheduled for September 23rd. And fiscal year 2022 budget deliberations continue. Today, senators passed an amendment by Appropriations Chairman Joe San Augustine that tweaks the language in the provisions for the funding of a new hospital complex and a new prison. It creates a special reserve fund for the Medical Center of Excellence project.
Is making sure we have a separate fund for the first 35 million, and on the 5 million for the Department of Correction, the funds are reserved because we can't appropriate them. On September, it will come before the body to discuss on Bill 121, which is about the funds. And if there's no plans yet, I'm in full support.
San Augustine is referring to legislation that he co-sponsored with Vice Speaker Tina Barnes to fund a new medical center campus and a new state-of-the-art prison facility using a portion of the earned income tax credit reimbursements from the federal government. Sports is next. Don't go away.
Your community calendar is brought to you by Taco Bell. Whether it's your first meal or your fourth meal, we've got you covered. Taco Bell, live Mas.
Mobile offers a new and convenient way to fuel your vehicle. Pay gas and go. No need to line up inside the store. Press preset. Enter whole dollar amount without decimals. Press loyalty ID and enter your mobile number or insert Smiles card. Insert and remove payment card or tap contactless credit card. Begin fueling. And don't forget to grab your receipt. Pay gas and go. It's that easy.
Hi, my name is Justine Xu.
Jim Pamplona.
Alexis Sablan. I'm Minami Kramer, and I'm a GTA youth leader.
Because of GTA, I was able to go to Interlochen, a summer music camp over the summer, and I'm very, very grateful for that opportunity.
It helped me pay for my college tuition with a scholarship.
Benefits, including a free phone and a year free service.
If you're someone who wants to inspire others, help others, and become a better person, this is for you.
Become a GTA youth leader today.
Triple bacon cheese.
How's that song coming along?
That's for me?
Oh, no. You're making music. I don't want to get in your way.
Oh, come on, man.
Oh. Hang on a second. My triple bacon cheesy jack combo. Only at Jack in the Box.
KUAM Sports is brought to you by Docomo Pacific. Better together.
The Guam Bowling Congress is excited to be welcoming high school bowling to Central Lanes this season. The organization has been working on getting the sport to the high school level since 1991. Guam made its first push after hosting the Asian Youth Championships.
Being able to get the program into the high school level would really boost our feeder program into the national youth team and national team levels. We have many international competitions which range from the junior World Junior Championships, the Asian Junior Championships, Asian Championships, Asian Schools Championships, World Championships. So with the number of events that we try to go to on an annual basis, getting bowlers beginning from this age group and hopefully even at the middle school level later on would definitely help with the programs that we have.
The league is hopeful they'll be able to get 5 schools to join. Each team can have as many bowlers as they would like. Bowlers will bowl 2 games with the top scores from 5 players on each team tallied to determine the winner of the match. The long-term goal is to draw interest from collegiate coaches and get our athletes scholarships to play at the next level.
University level, and then the international also. So there's a lot of exposure that a lot of our bowlers can get. And as you know, we've also medaled in the highest level in the World Championships. So for bowling on Guam, there's several of us that have been able to reach certain pinnacles within the sport. If you remember one of our youth bowlers at the age of 15, I believe, he was the top seed in the under-22 Asian Storm Tour. So we have bowlers who are very capable, and we'd like to be able to create more of that and be able to get Guam consistently on that map.
Practices are scheduled to start August 30th at Central Lanes in Tamuning. Any participants looking to join the league should contact their school AD or league coordinator J. Leon Guerrero. After the inaugural season, there will be an all-island tournament to crown the high school's top bowler.
This is an open invitation to everyone and anyone who's interested in trying to find avenues to compete. Bowling may seem easy and simple. However, it's just like any other sport. It's repetition and practice. So the more time you invest in it, the better you'll be able to get. And you don't need so much strength. It's just consistency and perseverance to endure what you need to be better.
Make sure to tune in to the live stream of the Team Guam vs. Chinese Taipei FIBA Asia Cup qualifier tonight at 7 p.m. on www.livebasketball.tv. Our men's national basketball team will look to make history as they play for a chance to advance to Jakarta, Indonesia in 2022.
KUAM Sports is brought to you by Docomo Pacific. Better together.
Summer is here, and at Cars Plus, we have the perfect Jeep for your summer adventures. Whether you're going off-road or just getting ready to hit the beach down south, make this the summer event you find your Jeep, like the 2021 Jeep Wrangler or the 2021 Jeep Gladiator. equipped with Guam's only lifetime powertrain warranty. Call us at 477-7807 or visit our website at carsplusguam.com to schedule a test drive today. Cars Plus, driven by you.
Building on the past, we at Docomo Pacific Business believe in helping businesses move forward and together, changing the way we get things done to make you and your company reach your highest potential. Trust in our commitment to bring you the best solutions for all your business goals. We are Docomo Pacific Business. Let's work better together.
Say hello to the First Hawaiian Bank mobile app. Got a question about your finances? You've come to the right place. Bring all your accounts together, even those that aren't with us, and see the big picture, right down to the smallest detail. Unlock powerful tools like Insights and Money Map that help you save time and take control of your finances. When you connect accounts with the First Hawaiian Bank mobile app, it all starts with yes.
KUAM News, in partnership with the Guam Visitors Bureau, brings you the Guam Safe and WTTC Safe Travel Certified Program Showcase. Look out for this powerful symbol for visitors, island residents, and industry workers alike, as it represents establishments with a consistent global commitment to safety practices. Stamped with approval by the Guam Visitors Bureau and the World Travel Tourism Council. Every Monday on KUAM News will feature a different local business who's taken the Safe Guam and Safe Travels pledge to maintain health and safety standards to get Guam back on track. Log on to visitguam.com to see how your business can receive the designation, what businesses in our community are Guam Safe certified, and have the WTTC Safe Travel certified.
And before we go, here's our latest round of birthday shout-outs from the Cold Stone Creamery Birthday Club.
Happy August 26th birthday to April Cariaga. Happy birthday, April. Your birthday shout-out says that you are getting love from Maddie Boy, Ati, and Allie Baby Hope. We love you more than all the stars in the sky. That's a great shout-out. That's a lot of love, trust me. Also, happy birthday number 25 to Peter Espinoza. You're getting love from Dad and Mom, along with sisters Nina and Desi, brother Danny, and your pets, Katu, Tofu, and Nightmare. Also, happy birthday number 2 to Matala Jude. We love you very much. Sayer Guerrero, Desu, Libe, Nedlik, Familia. Very nice. And happy belated birthday to Shaylee Jasmine Samara. Happy belated birthday to you, always, from your family and friends. Happy birthday to one and all.
And you can register for the Cold Stone Creamery Birthday Club online on KUAM.com. That's our report for tonight. Thanks for watching. Good night, everyone.